Howdy. Welcome back to this series of 5 lost and cancelled games. As always, I'm gonna talk about obscure cases that you may not know about. And if you haven't checked out the other videos on the subject, then feel free to check them out. With that said, let's go. Did you know that there were plans for a Nintendo DS game starring Boo? Well, it almost happened. Retro Studios were working on a game titled Boo Hunt, also known as the Hunt Project. In this game you will take the role of a young Boo, freshly graduated in the Hunt University. Sadly, there's only concept art of what this game will have been like, shared by Sammy Hall, former Retro Studios artist who worked on the project. But it is assumed that it will have featured a style of gameplay similar to Kirby Canvas Course, as we can see a picture of Pooh stretching in different ways, something that might have been possible with the stylus on the touchscreen. It is also said that the young Boo will have received powers after being soaked in a magical cauldron, and he will have to go on an adventure from then on. According to Sammy Hall, both this game and a cancelled Zelda Wii game based on the Sheikah tribe were in pre-production when they were cancelled for unknown reasons. I personally would have loved to see a game featuring Boo as the protagonist, even more if it featured a unique concept that wasn't too reminiscent of Mario games. And the idea of a young Boo in a university gaining powers and having his own adventure would have been pretty cool. What do you think? Would you have loved to see a game with Boo as the protagonist? Let me know in the comments. Monster Dunk is a cancelled arcade basketball game which was being developed by Mindscape Inc. There's a brief press release of the game that reveals what it will have been about, which reads like this. The game takes a unique and humorous twist on the basketball game genre, featuring famous monsters playing 2-on-2 basketball. Monster Dunk will take advantage of Nintendo 64's unique capabilities, such as providing players with dozens of stunning special effect moves. For example, one character becoming a cloud of smoke, morphing into a bat, flying above the basket and dropping the ball through, creating dozens of random court hazards, and including humorous game and season-ending winning team sequences. Sadly, in 1996 Mindscape was in huge economic problems, and because of that they decided to stop the development of Monster Dunk. Unfortunately, there is no footage or screenshots of the game, meaning we can't see what it would have looked like in any shape or form. And this is one of those cases where a console game is also lost, in the sense that there is no audiovisual material we can work with to give us an idea of how the game will have been. And while it sucks that a lot of promising games are cancelled for various reasons, it's always good to at least have some material to see the game during its brief existence, and Monster Dunk as a concept sounded really fun. So even though the game was cancelled, I do hope screenshots or footage of the gameplay surface soon. And that goes for pretty much every cancelled game that has no material to work with. Once again, we have another cancelled Game Boy Color port of a home console game. This one being a portable version of the N64 Rare game Jet Force Gemini. This game was being developed by Beat Studios in 2000, and it was going to be a 2D isometric view game, which seems to be a pretty effective way to make a 2D open world game in my opinion. And it was also apparently going to feature the same kind of gameplay from the N64, meaning it will also be a shooter. Now, this wasn't the only time Rare tried to port an N64 IP into the Game Boy Color, since both Perfect Dark and Conker's Pocket Tales, which, fun fact, was a game made when Conker was in his pre-Bad Fur Day family-friendly phase, got ported and released for the portable console. Sadly, Jet Force Gemini port got cancelled, with the reason probably being the low interest in the other two ports. There's actually plenty of pictures from the game, so we can see what it would have been like. And I gotta say, for a Game Boy Color title, it looks pretty cool and explorative. A real shame it got cancelled. Pest was a very bizarre looking game for the PS1, being developed by Rocket Science Games around 1996 and 1997. And this game was going to be a Tom and Jerry type of game in terms of gameplay. You had two main characters to be controlled, one being this guy who was the leader of a group of rats, and this other guy who was apparently a pest control guy who had to get rid of the rats. There's actually a promotional video for the game that shows some gameplay and also some more characters that will also be in the game. Either way, Rocket Science were working on this and many other games for the PS1 and Sega Saturn, but sadly some of these games, including Pest, got quietly cancelled, and it finally got forced to close down in 1997. Fossan Rocket is a console side-scrolling platformer which was being developed by Half-Brick Studios around 2003. It was inspired by Yoshi's Island visually, and it even featured a similar style of gameplay, in which you could aim and throw the protagonist's sidekick to solve puzzles or to kill enemies. According to the old Half-Brick website, Fuzz Rocket, which were the name of the two main characters, was about they going on an adventure to restore order to the land of Fulu, which was a world with 8 kingdoms, whose rulers were possessed and that made life difficult for their subjects. It featured 8 unique worlds and had over 32 levels, numerous bonus games, in-game cutscenes, and varied gameplay to keep players entertained for hours. The last time the game was seen was at E3 2005, and apparently it was close to being done, but sadly, in the end the team was not able to find a publisher before the GBA was replaced by the Nintendo DS, and so Fossan Rocket was cancelled and forgotten by everyone. So yeah, that's another 5 obscure console games. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. I also wanna say that I'm very sorry for the inconsistency in this channel, but it's very hard to come up with interesting cases of lost games to talk about, or just topics in general, so I hope that you understand. Anyway, thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Hey, thanks for watching. It means a lot to me, and if you like this type of content, make sure to subscribe so I can keep making it. And also, let me know in the comments if there's a game you would like me to cover in the future. With that said, take care and I'll see you next time.